All right, brother. We got Darino Burns, Gilbert Burns at number 2 in the welterweight division against the man who everybody is talking about, Khamzat Chimaev, number 11. Brother, we don't have much to say on this one. The reason why is because we don't know much about Khamzat Chimaev. Even though we've seen the 10 fights, we've seen his 10-0 record, immaculate. We've seen Gilbert Burns, a very time-tested 20-4 MMA fighter, a dude who had just recently fought for the title, a dude who did something to Wonderboy Thompson that nobody else does, which is just ragdoll the man, keep him against the cage. But like you said, man, they met up, towel in towel. Khamzat was the bigger man. All they needed to do was drop the towels and break out a ruler because at this point, man, this is what it feels like. Like these dudes are just dick measuring all day long, trying to see who's going to be the bigger, better man. Gilbert Burns, let's not forget that this man used to fight at 155 pounds, so he's not a natural 170 pounder. Khamzat Chimaev, on the other hand, had fought between 170 and 185 kind of seamlessly through his career. Now, AJ, man, what do we have to say on this one? Gilbert Burns, is he being disrespected? This is my big question because this is what I've been going back and forth with. For Gilbert Burns, right? This is a man who has picked up his first win since his 6-fight win streak was snapped by Kamaru Usman last February, and he's finished 3 opponents in his last 10 fights. But he's been finished twice in his 4 career losses, brother. So it's like, live by the sword, die by the sword to a degree. This is a man who knows how to get wins. This is a man who has a win over Gunnar Nelson, win over Damian Maia, Tyron Woodley. I mean, come on, brother. The only loss in his last 5, like I said, is to Kamaru Usman. Chimaev, on the other hand, you kind of feel away because Gilbert Burns says, who knows the names of the first 2 people that Khamzat Chimaev fought in the UFC? And if you're us, obviously we know the names, right? You got John Phillips, you got Reese McKee. Reese McKee, not even in the UFC anymore. Big Cage Warriors dude, right? John Phillips, not a grappler. He's a striker. I mean, this is a dude who got the brakes beat off of him by Sean Strickland. Wasn't even close, you know what I mean? So, okay, fair, right? But then immediate step up in competition. GM3, Gerald Mearshart. You one-hitter quitter that man. Nobody does that to him, right? And then Li Jingliang. Basically, you treat him like he's your little brother. You pick him up, take him across the cage, and choke him out. It is what it was. Does Gilbert Burns in this fight have a better chance on the ground or on the feet, brother? Because it's question marks all days for Chimaev. We still don't know. What do you think?
Still don't know, man. That's a good one right there, man. I think, because you have the wrestling, the Swedish style wrestling, the top advantage from Khamzat Chimaev coming in. He was number 3 in Sweden, in wrestling. So he can get things done. But then you have the ground game of Gilbert Burns. Yeah. But what's the odds of Gilbert Burns submitting Chimaev from the bottom? Probably very, very low. I'm sure they don't have that prop bet up, especially specifically from the bottom.
Not from the bottom, brother. But Gilbert Burns via submission is plus 1,300 for the jiu-jitsu black belt for the man who has submitted 8 people in his career. That's most of his finishes, his submission. So 13 plus 1,300 if you're willing to take a submission win by Gilbert Burns. So there you go.
It's wild. That's a huge margin, but he does have a better chance of submitting Khamzat if he's on top. If Gilbert Burns can work something where he hit bumps, gets on top, then we're going to see something a little different. Then we'll be interested to see how Khamzat actually does when he's the guy on the bottom. Yeah. I don't necessarily think that's going to happen. I think Gilbert Burns, man, and Khamzat's hands are good though. Yeah. I think he'll probably fare better on the hands and feet than he will on the ground. But that's almost a reach, man. It's almost a reach right there. What do you think? Which one does he fare better at?
I think, brother, his best shot is probably going to be the ground. And the reason why is, let's not forget, against Kamaru Usman, he got dropped with a jab, right? A jab of Kamaru Usman. That was the kind of the thing that put him down, 3rd round, you know what I'm saying? Now, for Khamzat Chimaev, the other thing that you got to take into consideration, he has a 4-inch reach advantage, 75 inches to 71. And he is the bigger man, 6'2 to 5'10". So he's just naturally the bigger, larger, stronger man, long arms, strong arms. His shots are incredible. It's interesting, man, because in his last fight against Li Jingliang, you saw he came up, squared up with him, and he kind of feinted like he was going to throw like a right, just a straight right down the pipe. And on that feint, converted it to that double and got him down. But it was seamless. It was so lightning fast. Gilbert Burns is going to be ready for that. He's going to be ready for the ground game. He's probably been drilling a bunch of that. But if this were a fight where Khamzat says, I'm not going to do my conventional style, I'm just going to come out and I'm going to strike with you a little bit, question mark. We don't know, brother. It's easy to say that we do, but we don't. 7 of Khamzat's 10 wins are via first-round finish. I mean, 6 knockouts, 4 submissions. His only loss, or actually, he has no losses. Yeah, he has no losses. That's it. There's nothing, brother. He just smash style all day. Once again, let's take this in consideration. Gilbert Burns, he's fought some of the best between 2 different divisions, right? 170 pounds is clearly his new home. Just give me something that's not out of the hype that we've seen from Khamzat Chimaev. How can Gilbert Burns win this fight? Because he can win this fight. There's by no stretch of the imagination can we sit here and say Gilbert Burns can't win this fight. Khamzat, he just smashes. Now, if we, let's fast forward 48 hours and let's say Khamzat does smash, okay, obviously we look a little dumb. But I think you need to give credit and respect to UFC veterans who have fought the best of the best and had ample success. So how can Gilbert Burns win this fight?
I think he has to survive the deep water right at the beginning, survive that first onslaught, because Khamzat is a round one fighter, man. He's going to come out hot. He's going to come out heavy. He's going to start very, very fast. And if Gilbert Burns is able to withstand that first flurry and kind of get Khamzat a little tired, maybe stuff a couple takedown attempts, hit him with a couple uppercuts as he comes in, kind of get Khamzat thinking like, oh shit, maybe the step up is real deal right here. Because we're going 11 to number 2. That's a massive jump he took. And sure, Khamzat was trying to fight Leon Edwards the entire time, but still a massive jump. So if Gilbert Burns can kind of lean on that veteranship, that veteran mentality, the indomitable will, it's questionable if he can or not. But if he can, it'll be something that Khamzat hasn't seen. If he can get past that second, that third takedown, that fourth one where he's kind of really start to sprawl, and then you get Khamzat thinking like, damn, am I, this is a little harder than I thought, a little harder than expected. That's right where I see Gilbert Burns having his best shots. And then he can kind of come back, get the 1s and 2s going, really start working. Maybe, like I said, if he can get on top of Khamzat, then we're really talking. Then we're kind of looking good right there.
Yeah.
Will that happen? It's hard to say, but I think that's his best bet if he can. What do you think?
I got you, man. My key method of victory for Gilbert Burns, like the way he needs to get it done, is once again, just like you said, man, drag it out, test the cardio, do whatever you need to do to drag it out, survive. Let each round starts up on the feet, man. So you know what I mean? It's not like you're going to be on the ground forever. If you can drag it to the third round, then we're finally all get to see, okay, what is Chimaev able to do once the main attacks don't work? And I'm confident that Gilbert Burns is going to be able to make it tough. Do I think that it's going to go all 3 rounds? Brother, it's tough, man. So I guess now it's time to give our pick. Now, the over and under for this fight, AJ, is 1.5 rounds. It's minus 135 for the over, plus 105 for the under, right? So the odds makers are showing Gilbert Burns a little bit of respect, but once again, when we go to the prop bets, Chimaev by points is plus 290, Chimaev by KO is minus 105, Chimaev by submission is plus 350, Burns by points plus 800, Burns by KO plus 1300, and Burns by submission plus 1300. Where are you going? Why? Who are you picking?
I'm actually taking the over on this just because I'm giving Gilbert Burns a little bit more respect, man. Yeah. I do think he is a vet and he can get things done, and I do think he'll wait out that storm a little bit in the beginning. But I'm still going Khamzat Chimaev, TKO, maybe even submission by round 3. I think he's going to get it done late, maybe early round 3, but late in the fight. I think he's going to get it done. Right. Round 3, TKO submission for boys. I think the Smash Bros are going to be partying in Jacksonville, Florida. What about you, Derek? Who are you going with and why?
Well, I can't agree with you because you're betting on the unknown, and I'm not willing to bet on the unknown in this one. So I'm going to go with the traditional time-tested Chimaev by stoppage, early second round. I think that, brother, this pains me. I want to pick Gilbert Burns. Everything inside of me says pick Gilbert Burns. Don't forget, when he fought Kamaru Usman, I picked Gilbert Burns. I said Gilbert Burns can do it in the 3rd round. He can finish Usman in the 3rd round. Well, what happens? He got finished in the 3rd round. So once again, I think that Gilbert Burns can win this fight, but I think Chimaev being bigger, longer, stronger, it's just going to be tough, bro. It's going to be tough. And this is if he can pass this test, brother, I mean, your title shot, that's it. Title shot is next. There's no questions. He is the boogeyman. He is the boogeyman. I'm going Chimaev. You're going Chimaev. You're going over. I am going under, early second round.